Welcome back, everyone, to our second game of the doubleheader here on Community TV for the 2024 Coates Talent League. It is round 2 for the boys' competition as the Geelong Falcons will go up against the GWV Rebels as part of our doubleheader. Of course, we just saw the girls go at it for their first game of the season. The Geelong Falcons winning that one 7-13-55 to the GWV Rebels 4-5-29. And the boys will be looking for the clean sweep this evening at GMHBA Stadium as the lights are on. The sun is setting and we are nearly ready to get round 2 underway. My name is Austin Kruger. Pleasure to be joined alongside you and welcome back to our viewers tuning in. The Geelong Falcons won the toss and they'll be going to the right of your dial towards the players' stand. The GWV Rebels will be going to the newly renovated Joel Selwood stand as these teams are looking to have a strong 2024 campaign. Of course, last week, the Falcons with a 3-point victory over the Dandenong Stingrays. They came back from a 15-point halftime deficit to win that one. While the Rebels, they went down at home to the Bendigo Pioneers to the tune of 18 points. So the Rebels are looking to get their 2024 season up and running, while the Falcons are trying to go 2-0 to start things off here on Good Friday Eve on Community TV. It's going to be a good matchup between these two teams. Of course, last year, the Falcons knocked out the GWV Rebels by 18 points in week 2 of the finals. We all know the Rebels finished second on the ladder last year with 10 wins and 3 losses. And the Falcons kicked them out, and they'll be looking to get one back here as we are underway for round 2 of the 2024 Coates Talent League live from GMHBA Stadium. Lovely ruck work straight away from the Falcons. It was Hall, the first clearance going the way of Geelong. No player able to get their hands on the footy in the forward line. Clean pick up in the end. Picked off nicely there from Onwin. Linking up through hand. Rantal. Just got a little touch on it there, did Radley, as it trickles towards the boundary line. It'll be a boundary throw in on the outer wing. Right in front of the supporters here. Nice little crowd building in. In front of the Reg Hickey stand here. Winning the tap down there was Radley, who's been involved early days here. Yeah, just taking a little high there, and they're going to play on with the advantage. Here is Ibbotson to send them back inside. A little bit too much on the kick. Going back, trying to get it is Mitchell Lloyd. Gives the handball across there to Robinson under a lot of pressure. Ends up finding the target in Archie Caldo, who've done well there, the Rebels, under immense pressure. They're going to look to switch this one back over. They've done so nicely. Taking the mark there was Mitchell Lloyd. He's going to take a bounce. Just get a few extra metres here. Had a running jump at it. Just drew the player in nicely, although the handball wasn't his best. As the umpire's lingering around this one, but he says that'll just be a stoppage. 65 from home for the Geelong Falcons. 4 by 25-minute quarters for the boys. And the Rebels just starting to work themselves into this one nicely. Strong hands there from Wiedemann. Moves it on quickly there. Oh, nearly had a good go at it there. Was Byrne, was unable to hold on to it. May have just dragged that one in a touch, but the umpire will blow his whistle for a stoppage. But Joe Pike doing the ruck work for the Falcons. He had 1 goal, 14 touches last week against the Stingrays. The 229's going at it. Of course, Eamon Radley, beautiful from Hannaford for their first entry for the Rebels. Just coming off the face there. As Burmeister, Sinclair that is, over the top there. Good mark in the end from Brady Hall, one of the co-captains. Just using that outer wing are the Falcons. Looking up through hand, Cooper Ward now. Just a little bit too much on the kick for his teammate. Creating a good contest there was Robinson from the Rebels. Umpires found a free kick going the way of Greater Western Victoria. It'll be Nick Robinson, who's been lively to start things off here for the Rebels, coming off the half-back line. Although that kick wasn't his greatest effort, as picking it off is Joe Pike. He's kicked it to about the tallest player on the ground, and the big fella with some nice foot skills to find Ibbotson. We've got players streaming past now, do the Falcons. That ball just sat in the air a little bit too long for Tulio. That's going to be holding the ball. So defensively, they've been quite strong, have the Rebels. That was Ollie Hannaford was the recipient of that one. But once again, they've turned it over. That's Sinclair Burmeister. And that's going to be 50 metres by the looks of it. So you cannot afford to be giving away free kicks like that in the early stages of the game. And he's just going to play on and launch this one from about 45. Didn't get the purchase he was after, but there on the deck was Sam Nicholas. Gives the handball towards the goal square. Well defended once again from the Rebels. Under a lot of pressure was Robinson. It was a deft little touch and a nice kick to find a target in Sam Nicholas. Under a lot of pressure are these defenders. They're holding up at the moment. The switch is on, and it was a beautiful kick across the face of goal to find Archie Taylor. That's their third turnover in about the last 2 minutes or so. Couldn't hold on to the mark there. Was Brady Hall donning the long sleeve tonight. They're back inside. Forward 50. Had a running jump at it there. Was McLaughlin. Couldn't hold on to it. Just hoping for the best. Clearing it out. Here's Wiedemann now. Gives the handball off to Unwin. Can the Rebels make something of this play? Here's Samuel McDonald. One-on-one contest. Going back with the flight with Skinner. Couldn't hold on to the mark. It was a tough opportunity. Chase down tackle. Just got the handball away in the end. The umpire says. Picked off nicely there. Huge tackle laid from Radley. Spills out here to Kobe George. Off to McLean. And the pressure of the Rebels nearly turned that one over. Nicholas couldn't hold on to the mark in the end. Everyone just ran straight past him. He was able to stand up and send him inside forward 50. A little bit too much on the kick. Last line of defence here is Jacques. And that's a dangerous ball. Might just work out for the Falcons. He's going to get his own football back. That's a terrible kick. Here is Reggie Mast. He can play on the left foot. Is it coming back enough for the first of the night? Going the way of the Rebels. A beautiful interception from Reggie Mast, the boy from Warrnambool. And it felt as though the Falcons were doing all of the early attacking. But the Rebels were the first to make a pay on the scoreboard. A couple of costly turnovers trying to come out of their defensive 50 for the Falcons. And a lovely finish. It was a good intercept mark. Made the moment his own. Did Reggie Mast. He's a top ager this year. Strong in the contest. He's good aerial ability as well. You can play him as a forward or a defender. But after that, you might just keep him down forward. Coach David Lodo of the Rebels will be happy with that effort as we're back in the middle. Free kick being paid to the Falcons. I believe this is Ibbotson. He's had a few early touches here for Geelong. One-on-one contest brought to ground. All the players were looking at the umpire to blow his whistle, and he eventually does. It's been a good start to this game. As I mentioned, the Rebels knocked out the Falcons last year in the finals, and they'll be looking for a bit of redemption. Handball there coming from Mast, who's found himself back in defence. Little push off there, the umpire is going to pay that every day of the week. I believe it's Ibbotson once again here. He's going to launch that one from about 55 into the goal square. Not enough on the kick. Just got the handball there. Was Rantel. And the Rebels will be happy to see that one over for a boundary throw-in. Nearing the 7.5 minutes gone in this first term. Just the one goal going the way of the Rebels. Although it's felt like the Falcons have had more of the territory to start this game. Doing the ruck work there was Zach McInnes for the Falcons, vice-captain. A nice little smother off there, just keeping that ball locked in the forward line. Great effort there from Archer Haingraf, who's making his debut today, coming out of the Geelong Amos. Of course, great footballing team, the Geelong Amos. They've produced some wonderful players over the years, along with the Geelong Falcons. There's no ruck could really get a hand on it. Trying to chase it down was Mast. Brought to ground. Free kick has been paid here to Reese Onman. It's a booming left foot. No player able to hold on to the mark. Well done in the end for the Falcons. Brady Hall involved in the play once again. Good one-on-one contest and one out here from Mitchell Lloyd. Should be coming straight back though. Although a free kick is being paid. Eamon Radley, the recipient. He kicked it to 2-on-1, but it might work out in the end. Ryan Perkins from Geelong finding Hall. Slick little handball. They're linking up nicely through hand. Puts that one on the boot into a little bit of space, trying to find the vice-captain in Avishik. And we'll have a stoppage right in front of the supporters here at GMHBA Stadium. Our second game of the doubleheader this evening here on Community TV. Radley doing the ruck work against Pike. And both teams just giving away a few free kicks to start this game. This one going to Ibbotson, who's been the recipient of a few of them. And that is a lovely ball to find Zach McInnes. Couldn't ask for a better hit up as a forward. He'll send that one to the teeth of 50. Oh, big running jump at it. He had two hands. That would have been an almighty hanger. Although the umpire's paid it, has he? Or has he found a free kick? It looked like the ball spilt out. So it'll be Will McLaughlin. I believe the umpire found a free kick after the play. So it'll be Will McLaughlin coming out of Colac, directly in front of goals here for the Falcons. He should be able to convert the first of this game. The goal umpire just watched that sail over his head, and the Falcons are on the board here in the first term. Will McLaughlin, after nearly taking an absolute screamer, got the free kick and right in front of goals, slots that one through. And we'll take it back into the middle. Just over 10 minutes played here in the first term. One straight apiece. It feels like the Falcons probably could have had a couple more on the board. They've certainly won the territory battle thus far. As we'll bring it back into the middle. Nice little tap out the back there to Hanegraaff. Good spoil from Archie Taylor, bringing that one to deck, and it just finds its way into the hands of Jack Murray of the Rebels to a one-on-one. Did well to bring it to ground. Gives it to the player, streaming past. Now he's got a one-on-one in the forward pocket. Maybe a little push there. Umpire says play on. Perkins across the face, under a bit of pressure now. Oh, he's done well. Sliding in to take the mark there. Might have copped a bit of contact high along the way. Josh Lindsay, who's making his debut for the Falcons this evening. Showing a good bit of courage and taking a well-needed mark. Good spoil coming out of the back. Here's McGlade. Off to Robinson. Good pick up from McGlade. Should be pinned for holding the ball, and is so. The umpire's called a very quick advantage there. And taking the mark, it'll be Mitchell Lloyd, who's been involved in this game. Kicks it pretty much straight to the Falcons captain in Hall. Couldn't hold on to the mark. Now an opportunity for the Rebels through hands. Wiedemann inside. Not enough on the kick, though, but it was well read. Couldn't get anything on. Was Robinson. And the Falcons defenders are holding up for the moment. There's Jacko. Did very well. Showed some great composure there to find a target inside forward 50 in Harry Charlson, who's the captain of this Rebels team. brother of Lockie Charlson, who was drafted to Port Adelaide last year. He had 21 touches and 9 inside 50s against Bendigo last week. And this, to put the Rebels back in front. Could be a captain goal on the way. It'll be a 45-metre kick. Slight angle. As he got the legs, it looks to be touched on the line. And it is so. That'll be rushed through for a minor score. The umpires are just having a little chat here. As they're going to come in. Yes, touched on the line. After a quick little deliberation. And it'll be the Falcons to bring it back in from the last line. Kobe George to take the kick in. Coming out of Bell Park. Umpires told him to play on. Just the required journey. As Avishik taking the mark. He's a top prospect. He's the vice captain of this Falcons side. They've just been halted a touch here, have the Falcons. They've set up well behind the ball, have the Rebels. Can take a big launch from the back, and Robinson nearly crumbs his own footy. Gets brought to ground. The umpire will be forced to blow his whistle. 60 metres from home for the Rebels. Jack Murray doing the ruck work there for GWV. Great vision in the end. Just knew Mukunda would be out there somewhere. And then at full stretch, taking the mark here is McLaughlin, who got the first goal for Geelong to start off. Oh, great courage shown and an even better mark. Fantastic hands from Harry Lawson. A degree of difficulty on that one. 2-on-1 situation. Wiedemann, can he get a clean pickup? Maybe taken a little bit high. It's just bumbling around at the moment. Morrison sending that one backwards. Off to McLean. And good pressure applied. It'll be out of bounds on the full. Lawson to bring this one back in for the Rebels. And looks like there's just, they're going to have to change who the kicker is. Reggie Mast. .16 minutes now played here in the final quarter. Inside forward 50 are the Rebels. Well done here from Fraser Milan, who's making his debut. Handball over to Charlson, who can send their second through. What a play from the Rebels. Charlson making no mistake about that one. Great assist from the debutant in Milan. A fantastic finish in front of goal from Charlson. Captain's goal. Been an interesting start to this game. Felt like the Falcons probably won the first 10 to 15, or so, first 10 minutes. Just weren't able to convert too much on the scoreboard. And since then, the Rebels have looked quite dangerous every time they've gone inside forward 50. They've created 3 scoring opportunities to the Falcons 1. Also come back to the middle. Umpire's found a free kick here. It's not going to be advantage because it's for the wrong side. Ibbotson to a 1-on-1, bringing it to ground. There was Caracella. Vision inboard. It's going to be picked off here by Charlson, who got the last goal for the Rebels. Now he's taking intercept marks on the half-back flank. Sends that one to the outer wing here. Well done to bring it to ground. Got players streaming past. Inside forward 50 now. Running jump at it. Couldn't hold on to the mark there. Was Robinson. But a free kick's been awarded. So Robertson out of East Point. A few near moments in this first term. It'll be a 45-metre kick directly in front. Can he sail over? The Falcons players have actually brought that one back in the ground. They needed to kill it over the line. It's going to be a dangerous tackle, though. Looks a little groggy after the contest. Did Perkins. It's going to go across the face here as the Falcons just struggling to get too much fluidity in their game here in the last 5 minutes or so. Kobe George. He's got Ibbotson. It's a dangerous ball, making his teammate do a lot of work here. Little fumble there from Hannaford. Could have proved costly. And the Rebels just been too undisciplined here in the first quarter, giving away too many free kicks. The Falcons trying to get something going here. You're in the just inside the centre square. And this time the free kick going the way of the Rebels. It's been a very physical game to start things off. And the umpire's going to tell him to come back onto his line. Just a little halt in play. Onwin will take the kick here. Coming out of Cobden. So 2-on-1 should be easy enough for the Falcons, and is so. Goes across the face. It's a very dangerous ball. A good spoil in the end. First at it are the Falcons, trying to get out of trouble through Hand, who's probably just acting that one out a little bit. He was trying to get the high contact, but the umpire saw through it. And we'll have a boundary throw in just inside the forward 50 here. Right on the paint of 50. Well done from Radley. Brought it down. Robertson with a good spoil, but straight in the hands of Tulio. It'll be coming back, though. Coming off the boot there of Radley. It's a high ball in towards full forward. Going back, taking a good intercept mark was Lockie Jacques, one of the co-captains here. He's been strong in defence. Beautiful ball. Going to play on immediately here. This is better from the Falcons. Nice build-up of play. Well read there from River Stevens, who could see that one coming. Got the kick away, but good pressure applied at the last second. Meant the kick went out of bounds. That was Harry Lawson, who just applied that last second pressure and forced that kick to go out of bounds. Archie Caldo off to Robinson. Gives the handball back, bit of 1-2 action. And the Rebels starting to look quite impressive, and that's a strong overhead mark taken there from Milan, who started off his campaign as a Rebel in emphatic fashion. As Charleston now would like to have that kick back. As Perkins takes the intercept mark now, he's got McLaughlin with plenty of time and space. He's also got River Stevens, who's found some space. Now he's got players lining up inside forward 50. Finds a target here in Jack Henderson, who's seemingly caught in two minds at the moment whether to find an option. Although, looks like he's going to back himself in here. Jack Henderson. Coming out of Barwon Heads Football Club. It's going to take an almighty kick. 45, about 10 metres out from the boundary to get one back here before quarter time. Probably doesn't have the journey. Robinson went up to take the mark. Couldn't hold on to it. Running onto it there was Caldo. Well evaded in the end from Nicholas. And found a target under immense pressure. Just couldn't hold on to the mark, but did well. Did Hannaford. Gave it to a teammate under a lot of pressure there. And the Rebels, that was Angus Morrison with a bit of a don't argue. Send them into the forward pocket. And taking the mark was Mitchell Lloyd. A few players got their hands on it. No one able to hold it in. Maybe a little bit of a throw there. Umpire not in the best position to see it. Josh Lindsay with a bit of a hack kick into the forward line. This is going to be an interesting contest, a big battle to be won. Well done in the end from the Falcons. River Stevens, who's starting to get busy in this game. Couldn't hold on to the diving mark as it slips out there to Charleston. Moves it across to Nicholas. They've turned that one over again, have the Rebels. We're just struggling to get the ball out of their defensive 50 at the moment. It was a good hit up, couldn't hold on to the mark. But the umpire says it was a chop of the arms. Good decision in the end. Will McLaughlin will line up for his second. McLaughlin, of course, got the first for Geelong. That shot was directly in front. This one is going to ask a little bit more of the young man, who's going to be on a tight angle. Stevens was providing the lead, but he's going to back himself in here. Looking for his second. Looked all right off the boot. He liked it straight away. McLaughlin's got two. And on the cusp of quarter time, the Falcons get one back. 2 straight 12 to the Rebels 2-1-13. And the Rebels who just struggled to get that ball out of their defensive zone there for a while. A few turnovers. And McLaughlin was able to reap the rewards there. A lovely kick. It was no mean feat from that distance and that angle. And he made it look quite easy. Not long to go now till quarter time. Probably not enough time for a team to score. Lovely bounce there from the umpire. Tap one down from Joe Pike. And that is the quarter time siren here at GMHBA Stadium. At the end of the first term, it's the Falcons 2 straight 12 as they trail the Rebels 2-1-13. The goal scorers from the first term for the Falcons, 2 to McLaughlin, and for the Rebels, 1 to Mast and 1 to Charleston. We'll have a short break here on Community TV before we come back for the second quarter. We are back live here on Community TV for the second quarter of our double-header between the Geelong Falcons and the GWV Rebels. At the end of the first term, it's the Falcons 2 straight 12 to the Rebels 2-1-13. The goal scorers from the first term for the Falcons, 2 to McLaughlin, and for the Rebels, 1 to Charleston and 1 to Mast. My name is Austin Kruger. Pleasure to be here with you this evening. A big welcome to all of our viewers tuning in from across the nation as we bear witness to some of the best young talent running around in Australia. Of course, we had the girls go at it earlier this afternoon. The Falcons won that one 7-13-55, beating the Rebels 4-5-29. But right now, it is quarter time. It's only 1 point in it. It was an intriguing first quarter. You can tell these teams both want to get their 2024 off the right way. There was a lot of free kicks paid. I think the coaches, of course, of Geelong, Paul Corrigan, and the Rebels, David Loader, would have had a few words with the boys just saying, I need to rein it in a little bit, be a bit more disciplined here in the second term. But it was an entertaining one nonetheless. As the Rebels break from their huddle first and get into positions, they'll be going to the right of your dial towards the players' stand. The Falcons, in the famous blue, they'll be kicking towards the Joel Selwood stand. I'm sure they're excited to kick a few goals up into the grandstands there, as they're just taking a little bit of extra time here in their huddle. Be interested to hear what Paul Corrigan has to say in that huddle. They played 3 times last year. GWV winning the first one by 7 and then 74 points. But of course they lost in the finals to the Falcons in a bit of an upset by 3 goals after the Rebels finished second on the ladder. I'm sure they'll be looking to do a little bit better here in 2024. As we're nearly ready here for the second quarter for the Coates Talent League. This is round 2 action here on Community TV. Austin Kruger is my name, as the 229s are about to do battle in the ruck. Eamon Radley for the Rebels and Joe Pike for the Falcons. Both players had good opening terms. As the umpire holds the ball aloft and we are ready to go under lights here at GMHBA. It's a beautiful sight to see. Some Thursday night footy on the eve of Good Friday. As the bounce just slightly in favour there of Eamon Radley of the Rebels. Met in a tackle immediately. I'll have the ball up not too far from where we started. Well done in the end there. That was just fell to Ibbotson, who's had plenty of the football to start this game. Just running past the football. Big tackle laid from Patton. Falls out here to Hannaford. Just dropped the ball. Stevens came in and crashed the pack. Joined alongside with Cooper Ward. We'll have the ball up just outside the centre square here in favour of the Falcons territory. Winning the tap down was Pike. It's a big tackle there. It's nearly a dangerous one. They're just inside their forward 50 now are the Falcons, who of course won last week by 3 points to the Stingrays. He's turned that one over in a very dangerous spot. Pike sends him in. Here's Stevens, gives the handball off to the play, streaming pass in Henderson, who's got a goal already in this game. Was unable to even produce a score there, as that'll be out of bounds on the full. It'll be Nick Robinson to bring it back in. He's been very good in defence for the Rebels. He just throws himself at the footy. He sends that to a big pack. And somehow the Falcons have got their hands on it. Taking the mark there was Kershaw. Thought about giving it off quickly. In the end, sends it into the pocket. Great lead from Will McLaughlin, who's looked very lively already. He's got 2 goals. Can he make it 3 here for the Falcons? Just goes across the face for a minor score. But an ominous start here in the second term for the Falcons. Screaming for the footy here is Lloyd. Goes for a different option. It just comes off the head there of Kobe George. Cooper Patton turning that one over. And the Rebels trying to get something going here. Going back with the flight, taking a good mark there was Brady Hall, co-captain. Who's looked good off the half-back line here for Geelong. Doesn't have too much, although it was well done in the end there from Joe Pike, who just used his body well to take the mark. He's a Vic Country representative. Sends him inside forward 50. It'll be interesting to see how the umpire sees this one. Robinson was asking for the push. He says it was good use of the body. And Will McLaughlin, who had the last shot on goal, missed. He gets another opportunity here for his third. Could have been a little bit fortuitous, depending on how you see it. As he had a shot from a similar position down the other end of the ground, did McLaughlin, looking for his third. It'll favour the left boot. Is it coming back? It's not. And another minor score. So the Falcons, inaccurate to start this second term. While the Rebels yet to get much going here. Archie Taylor to take the kick in. A few players got their hands on it in the end. The Falcons, through Joe Pike, sold a bit of candy there, did McLaughlin. He's doing a bit of everything here in the early stages. Into the pocket, going back with the flight, couldn't hold on to it. Maybe smothered off the kick there. Either way, it'll be a minor score. So 3 behinds for the Falcons in the opening 4 minutes of this second quarter here for round 2 of the Coates Talent League. Just gets brought to ground here. Well done from Morrison. Although couldn't find a target. It's come off the boot of a Rebels player. It's going to be out of bounds on the full. And the Falcons will go inside forward 50 once again. Stevens in and around it. Trying to pick that one up off the deck was McInnes. It's in a dangerous spot now. Rebels defender's got a lot to do. He's just given that straight to him. And he's missed from point blank range. I believe that was Archer Hanegraaff, who's missed the unmissable there. He was under a bit of pressure, but you should be able to go back and convert that one. There's another behind here for the Falcons. Maybe you've just got a bit of the yips to start this second quarter. They've turned it over again, the Rebels. Tried to lay a tackle, couldn't quite. Grubber across the grass. Robinson, dangerous handball, might just work out. Bit of a chaotic start here in this second term. It's going to be quite close to the boundary line. In the end, was well taken there from Jacques. He had 25 touches last week against the Stingrays. Just improves the angle a bit, sends it into the pocket. Well done, brought to ground. Robinson now with a bit of work to do right in front of goals. A little bit too much on the handball for Tullio. Was he being held without it? He was. And the Rebels have given away a free kick in a very dangerous position. Noah Tullio had 2 goals last week against the Stingrays. Looking for his first this evening. And just for the Geelong Falcons' confidence in front of goal, it'll help them on their way if Tullio can send this one through. Relatively easy shot on goal. Makes no mistake about that one. And the Falcons are on the board here in the second quarter. Thanks to Noah Tullio, who's now got 3 goals for the season. And was rewarded a free kick for being held without the football. And the Falcons have dominated the opening 6.5 minutes of this second term. And they've finally got something to show for it. I don't believe the Rebels have even had it inside their forward 50. If so, it would have been momentarily. Just coming in to do the ruck now for the Rebels is Jack Murray. Joe Pike still doing the work for the Falcons. Nice bounce from the umpire. Pike winning the tap down. Tullio just got the last goal. Could have been given a free kick. He was. It was called advantage. But once again, not really to the advantage of the Falcons. As Will Rentel goes back and takes the mark. assessing the options. He's just going to go long down the line in front of us here in the broadcast booth, and once again they've kicked it to the tallest player out there in Joe Pike, who's backing up his good performance from last week. He's a good user by foot, is Joe Pike. Off to Angus Morrison, to the streaming Ivishik, the vice-captain. Had a good look at it, couldn't hold on to the mark on the deck now, and the Rebels just hacked that one out, hoping for the best. Little push from Radley, the umpire lets it go. Well played in the end. The Falcons have just got all the answers. Here is Cooper Leach. Goes across the face, in towards the middle of the ground. Well done in the end there from Taylor Byrne. His forward just lost his footing there. He's coming in with a big spoil there. Arguably could have gone for the mark as Liam Kershaw of the Falcons picks it up. That kick didn't have much thought there to Milan, who was under a lot of pressure and did well to keep his composure, going back with the flight with a good spoil there. Was Lockie Jacques, who's had some wonderful moments here for the Falcons. There's no surprise why Jacques is one of the co-captains of this team. As we'll have a boundary throw in front of us here on the broadcast wing. Some good ruck work there. Angus Morrison roving that one, linking up through hand. Sorry, it was Charlson, should I say. Harry Lawson now. Off to Stevens. Sorry, Jacko. And happy to see that one over was Brady Hall. And the first real look inside forward 50 now for the Rebels here in this second term. Falcons have kicked 1 goal for this quarter. Rebels yet to score. Can they muster up something? Leach doing the ruck work. Just falling to ground. Here's Milan. Ball spills out of the tackle. Out the back. Inside forward 50. He's got a good look at it and takes a strong mark. It was good hands in the end from Connor Wiedemann. At 194 centimetres. Has apparently had a wonderful off-season. Working on his craft. And Wiedemann to get the Rebels off and going here in the second quarter. He's directly in front. Should be able to go back and convert this. Makes no mistake. Wiedemann gets his first and the Rebels get one back here and bring that deficit back to 3 points 10 minutes into the second term. Feels like that has been a bit of the difference in this game. Feels like the Falcons have had more of the territory and more of the inside forward 50s, but when the Rebels have had their opportunities or been down their end of the ground, they've looked more dangerous in front of goals and have been able to capitalise. As Wiedemann just slotted his first. I imagine Paul Corrigan, the coach of the Falcons, would be pretty unhappy with that effort. Had a fantastic start to this quarter, but to only get 1 goal for from all that domination just is not enough against a quality outfit. And maybe they've just got a bit of confidence now. Chase down tackle. It was Harry Lawson that was wrapped up. Laying the tackle was Cooper Ward. Good ruck work to find Mast. It's a high ball inside towards the goal square. Can he get a clean look at it? He does in the end as Taylor Byrne, but he coughs it up. As do the Falcons, but just couldn't hold on to the mark was Burmeister. That is Sinclair. Cooper Ward with a nice little spin there to get out of trouble. Here is Tullio, well picked off there from Janetsky. Linking up through hand, Lawson. It was a good fist going back with the flight of it from Wiedemann, just affecting Brady Hall. It was a well-disguised throw, as was that one. As Tullio, under a lot of pressure are the Falcons. Lawson, he's been taken without the football there, and they're just going to relieve the pressure. But the Falcons looked to take the advantage. After a couple times tonight, they've taken the advantage and hasn't worked out for them. That time it may have. A look inboards to Lindsay, who's making his debut tonight and finds a target in Caracella. Of course, the son of Blake Caracella, former Essendon AFL player, so a father-son prospect. And the Falcons, after the ball's been down, the Rebels end of town for a little while now, looking to get this one out. Cooper Patton from Torquay, sending that one to a big pack. Falls out the back nicely here. Henderson involved in the play. River Stevens now. He was chased down in a good tackle. Umpire letting them go for a while, but does blow his whistle. Only 3 points in this ball game. Contested footy at the moment. Nice little deflection to see that one out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Rebels had 4 draftees last year, while the Falcons had just the 2. So 6 draftees into the AFL from the boys' programs between these two teams last year. That was Cooper Leach doing the ruck work. The umpires found a free kick, and it was against Leach. Good call in the end. He was just holding on a little bit too long there. Jack Murray off to Lawson. Hall tried to take a bit of a screamer, couldn't reel it in. Nice handball. Here is Ollie Hannaford from about 45 in towards the goal square, and looks like he was unsure whether to go for goal or the target. In the end, it'll be a minor score. An opportunity gone begging for the Rebels. Ooh, just enough on the kick to find Haingraf. Risky ball, works out in the end. Jack Henderson taking the mark. Just chips it over the top nicely to McInnes. Falcons have looked relatively clean by boot. He's going to get his own footy back, Will McInnes, and send them to Ibbotson. Good spoil coming from Archie Taylor just to keep that ball alive. Tulio was first at it. Spills out here to Cooper Ward. Into a bit of space. They've got the 2-on-1, although cavalry has arrived. Cooper Ward involved in the play once again. He's been busy in the last 5 or so minutes. Hall. So that was Ibbotson. Back to Hall. And the Falcons will go inside forward 50. Unable to hold on to the mark there. It was Mitchell Lloyd. He'd like to have that one back. He had a fair look at it. 15 minutes now gone here in the second term. Not much between these two teams. The scoreboard says only 2 points. Good handball as he was falling to ground to Archie Taylor. And they'll link up through hands under a bit of pressure now. He's worked it out nicely. Over the top to Charlson. And looks like the boundary line. No, the umpires paid for too much contact after the ball had left his hands. In towards the middle of the ground. So the players just lost the ball in the light there for a little while. Good tackle from McDonald. He wrapped up Josh Lindsay nicely and gets his own footy back, did McDonald. Through hands, big contest to be won. Charlson puts his head under the ball but run past the footy. Somehow slipped out for the Falcons. And he just sends that on its merry way towards the half-forward line. Free kicks being paid here. Archie Taylor. Oh, moves it on quickly. And just could not find a target there. They've been just coughing the ball up too much coming out of their D50 of the Rebels. Well done in the end from Archie Caldo. Maybe asked a little bit too much of himself. Janetsky just got the handball away. And that kick, making his teammate do a lot of work. Had a good look at it. It burned. Just couldn't quite hold on to the juggling ball. Tried to chip that one over the top. Dangerous tackle after he'd already possessed of the footy. Is not going to do the Rebels any favour. As Josh Lindsay will take the kick in. Wasn't on his line, and it's a shame for the Falcons, as could have been an opportunity for them to score. But Lindsay will be brought back onto his line. And he'll send the Falcons inside. Robertson came flying over, didn't make contact with the ball. He's just given that right to his opposition there. Luckily it was touched off the boot. Rebels just slapping that one forward. Charlson. He's done that well. Off to Archie Taylor, to the outer wing, sorry. Wiedemann looked like he'd taken the mark. The umpire called play on. Now they've got some space out the back, do the Falcons. He gets past him, just finds a target there in Cooper Ward. And can the Falcons see this one through? Cooper Ward, he's had a strong second quarter. He's had some good moments off the half-back line. It looks like Mark Corrigan's told him to creep forward in the latter stages of this second term. Will take quite the roost from here. 45 metres out, pretty much right on the boundary line, and doesn't trouble the scorers there. Making Archie Taylor up into the grandstands there. So you can just take a little bit of this Geelong momentum out of the game. A few seconds off the clock as we are getting closer towards half-time. 1 goal apiece for both teams here in this second term. The key forward. We've seen him spend maybe a bit of time down back. It's a big kick to the logo. Leach couldn't hold on to it. Laying a tackle was Harvey Lewis. And we'll have a ball up right in front of us here. Murray winning the tap. Ibbotson laying the tackle. So we've just ticked over the 20-minute mark here of the second term. Good positioning from the Falcons midfielders. Under a bit of pressure. Ibbotson trying to get it. Run past the footy. Here's Burmeister by hand. That's a double Falcon. It was Charlson. Kicked it into the head of Lindsay and went straight back to Charlson's face. We'll have a boundary throw in. So both teams struggling to get much going here in this second quarter. Feels like the Falcons probably could have had a couple more on the board. Well picked off there from Hannaford, who just read the play nicely. Gave it off to Caldo, who was streaming past. It's the footy back after a bit of 1-2 action. The kick wasn't the greatest. Finds Kershaw of Geelong. Gives it off to Patton. And they've turned this one over, have the Falcons. Taking the intercept mark is Will Rantel. Goes across to Burmeister. And can the Rebels sneak one in here before half-time? Milan didn't have the front positioning, but did well and just taken after the play too high. It'll be a free kick going to Cooper Leach. And a bit of argy-bargy starting now between these two teams. It's felt like this was possibly on the way. There's been a lot of free kicks in a very physical game, and Leach does not look to be in a good way. So we're hoping all the best for him. He's in the safe hands of the trainers. As the players can take a moment to just catch their breath. To be hoping all the best for the young man in Cooper Leach, who's back up on his feet, so good signs there. Might have just had the wind taken out of him. And we'll restart play in a moment's time here on Community TV. This is our second game of the doubleheader at GMHBA Stadium. The Geelong Falcons girls beating the Rebels by 26 points earlier this evening for the first round of the 2024 competition for the girls. And this is round 2 here for the boys between the Falcons and the Rebels. 2 points the margin. Not far away from half-time as Cooper Leach makes his way to the boundary. Yes, he's just holding that midsection in the ribs. It'll be Lockie Jacques to take the kick back in here for the Falcons. He's done well there, just to get a few extra metres. Sucked him in nicely. Had a good look at it, did Pike. Couldn't hold on to it. Lloyd to Caldo. We'll take him without the football there. The umpire had a good look but didn't see it. Kershaw now. Gives the hands off into the pocket. Not enough on the kick. Rivers Stevens, can he get his hands on it? He can, but met in a beautiful tackle. And we'll have a ball up. About 40 from home. I've just seen the footage of Cooper Leach. He's been taken very high after the play. So hoping the best for Leach. It was a nasty looking play. Hopefully we get to see him back out there because he was really starting to make an imprint on this game as the Falcons with another intercept mark. Joe Pike. Who's it on quickly? Avishik, the vice captain, into the pocket. Makes his teammate work for it. In the end, he's done very well. A good pick up off the deck in towards the goal square. Can he find a target? They found a free kick instead. And they've called advantage, play on. It's going to be a goal for the Falcons right on the cusp of half-time. It was called advantage. I believe that was River Stevens who was able to slot that one through. And a well-deserved goal there for the Falcons. Yes, it was River Stevens who socked that one out of midair. Umpire called advantage and the Falcons stretched that lead to 8 points. Now kicked 2 goals for the quarter have the Falcons. So they should be coming into half-time with a slight buffer. Arguably could have been more. Ibbotson was unable to get a possession. Lawson, ball spills out of the pack through hands. Under a lot of pressure. The Rebels, the Falcons have certainly come to play after their teammate Cooper Leach went down with that nasty hit. Feels like their intensity's just lifted a little here. The umpire throws that one back up. Off the deck. Milan first at it. Couldn't get a clean look. And there's the halftime siren here at GMHBA Stadium. The Falcons 4-4-28 to the Rebels 3-2-20. The goal scorers from the first half. Mast, Charlson, Wiedemann and Stevens for the Rebels. For the Falcons. As we'll have a short break here on Community TV before we come back with the second half. We are back live here at GMHBA Stadium for the 2024 Coates Talent League season. This is our second game of the doubleheader here on Community TV between the Falcons and the Rebels. At halftime, the Falcons lead this one by 8 points as they lead 4-4-28 to the Rebels 3-2-20. The goal scorers from the first half for the Falcons, 2 to McLaughlin and then 1 to Stevens and Tullio. For the Rebels, singles to Mast, Charlson and Wiedemann. So 8 points is all that stands between these two teams as we have one half of football to go. It's been a big doubleheader on Community TV. We saw the Falcons beat the Rebels in the girls' competition to start off the 2024 season. Of course, the remainder of round one will get going next weekend. But we'll shift our attention back here to the boys as the Falcons leading this one ever so slightly. You feel as though they had quite a few opportunities there in that second quarter. They kicked 1 goal for. They've just sprayed a few that probably could have gone through, and the Rebels were just hanging in there. And the halftime siren probably came at the right time. It's good to see Cooper Leach on the field here for the Geelong Falcons after he was taken in a high contact hit. But he's out on the field. Be interesting to see whether he'll be coming back onto the ground or whether or not he'll stay on the bench. For now, he's walking towards the bench as the players get into their positions. Be Falcons to the right of your screen towards the players' stand. Or the Rebels, they'll be kicking to the left over to the Joel Selwood stand. As we got one half of football to go here for our big doubleheader. Austin Kruger is my name. You're probably sick of my voice by now. But we got one half of football to go. Only 8 points separating these two teams. Rebels looking to try get a bit of payback after they got handed a loss in week 2 of the finals in the 2023 competition. But it's a new year. It's a new season. And it's the first game of round 2 for the boys' competition. And we are underway here, under lights, Thursday night footy at GMHBA. And the Falcons should get first look at it. Ibbotson through Ivishik, going through hands. Going back there was Kershaw, unable to hold on to the mark. Milan with a handball, finding a target in Rantal. Good use of the body there. Taking the mark was Jack Skinner. Gives a quick handball to his teammate under immediate pressure in Jacques. And he's coughed that one up. Hannaford has also turned that one over. Hot start to this quarter. Now the Falcons have got a bit of space. Can they find a target? Beautiful mark. Taken there from Mukunda, who's maybe a little bit too far out to score, but an excellent hit up to find his teammate in River Stevens. Stevens, who was at full stride, was able to take that one pretty easily in the end. Stevens has already got 1 goal in this game. He socketed one through mid-air after taking the advantage for the Falcons. Umpire just telling him to come onto his line. He's directly in front. It'll be a 30-metre kick for Stevens, who can get the Falcons off and running here in the third quarter. The goal umpire didn't move, and the Falcons, they lead by 14 points now, and Stevens gets his second. And that is the start that Coach Paul Corrigan would have been after coming out of the halftime break. As they extend that lead to 14 points. And the Falcons have certainly looked like the better team throughout the night. They get the first year of the second half as we'll take things back into the middle. Radley going up against Pike in the ruck. It's been a good matchup between these two. There's a bit of a nothing handball there, straight to the opposition in Ibbotson. Could have been tripped as well. Kershaw gives it back. It's a dangerous ball Made his teammate Skinner do a bit of work. Chasing it down here. Good tackle late from Charleston. Umpire letting them play, and the ball nearly slipped out. Falls out the back finally. Just got the handball away, did Nicholas. And we will finally have a stoppage here in front of some of the supporters at GMHBA. Free kicks being paid here to the Rebels. Opportunity for them to go inside forward 50 for the first time in the second half. Got a few targets. Juggling affair, couldn't hold on to it. George used the hands with the clearing kick out. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So it didn't last too long inside the Rebels forward 50. Falcons defenders have been pretty solid throughout this game. Umpire to throw this one back in. A few players getting their hands on it in the end. It was the Falcons coming off the Brit of Ibbotson with a fantastic kick to Mukunda. Those two have linked up twice now already here in this third term. The Falcons, they've got all the momentum in this one, trying to get the tap over the top with Stevens. Couldn't get his hands on it. Robertson finds Taylor. That was a beautiful kick, but well defended in the end. I believe that was Kobe George who just got a little touch on it, not allowing Wiedemann to take the mark. And that's the kind of efforts that you love to see as a coach. As the Rebels were trying to get that one out of the Falcons' territory. He just sends that handball straight to the boundary line. That's got to be deliberate, you would think. Yes, will be. There wasn't a teammate in sight as Harry Lawson hand passed that one over. Carousella. Here's some of the players absolutely barking for the football as he sends that to the paint of 50. He had a one-handed attempt at it, couldn't hold on to it. Now it's on the deck. Stevens, as clean as ever, finds Ibbotson. Now it's a contest. Oh, that handball's not going to do him any favours. Ward was very good off hands. Finds Mukunda, snaps it on to the left foot and goes across the face. A goal for another minor score here for the Falcons. Once again, a good build-up for the Falcons. Ibbotson's been very impressive. River Stevens as well. It's a great grab amongst a lot of players there. It was Liam Kershaw who took that splendid mark there off to Stevens, and that was just all too easy for the Falcons. And once again, oh wow, the GWV Rebels defenders have got their hands in the air. They're pointing fingers, and that is not good enough. Taken two uncontested marks inside forward 50. So I believe this is Jack Henderson. We'll have the shot on goal here for the Falcons to get two in a row to start off the third quarter. It'll only be about a 35-metre kick, slight angle. Should have no troubles, although that one goes to the right. And it'll just be a minor score. And once again, the Falcons in front of goals. Just not been quite on song today. 5-6 they are to the Rebels 3-2. So it says to me that Falcons could have a bit more than a 16-point lead at the 7-minute mark. As trying to take a bit of a hanger, couldn't get his hands on it. Ward running past the footy, ball hits the deck. He's taken very high there. Was Jacko. Umpire has missed that one. There are a lot of players around the footy. We'll have a boundary throw in. Jack Murray doing the ruck work now for the Rebels. Up against Joe Pike. They've crumbed it well all night, have the Falcons. That one just fumbles out. Here's Charlson. Get something going here for the Rebels. They've got a knack of just getting the goal back when they need to. Can they do the same here? Goes across the face, a goal. Well done in the end to take the mark. Kershaw, he's taken a few good grabs in this quarter. Stevens was the target. It was a good spoil in the end, although he's given a free kick for contact after the play. Maybe a little bit unlucky there. Looked to be a good spoil. He nearly just took that out of his hands. Toe poke off the deck from Ibbotson. Happy to see it over, are the Falcons. We'll have a boundary throw in. As they lead this one by 16 points. Still anyone's game. Although it feels like the Falcons are just right on the edge of taking this game away and making it their own. It's just been a little woeful in front of goals. It's really been their only mark against their name. So it feels like for the most part they've dominated territory in the play, and the Rebels just continue to give away free kicks. Too worried about the man and not the ball. Rantle will take the kick here for the Falcons. Not the best option, as he's picked out the only Rebels player there. And Reggie Mast. Good spoil from Hall, although the first at it were the Rebels. It's a high ball to... going back with the flight. Unable to hold on to it was Jacques, but nonetheless great courage shown, and they were able to get the turnover. Here is Janetsky. He'll get the handball received back. No, he won't. It's been picked off here from Tullio, who'll look for his second. And they've missed again, the Falcons. Three behinds this quarter. 1-3, that is, for this quarter. Pretty gettable shots, it has to be said. Had a few goes at it. The umpire says play on. It's not a mark. That was Jacques once again going back with the flight. Milan, he just had to handball that one and hope for the best. Jacques gets a handball away. Brady Hall tried to get the kick away. Harry Lawson had something to say about it, as he gets a little bit of a smother there. And we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of the Rebels bench. True centre wing broadcast side at GMHBA Stadium. 17 points the Falcons lead by here on Community TV for a big double header of Coates Talent League action. Austin Kruger's my name. I'll be with you for the rest of the evening as the Rebels trying to get a bit of territory going their way. Here's Leach back on the field. He's arguably taken a little bit high. Good to see him back out on the field after a nasty blow in the second term. Wins the tap down, deflected from Milan, straight to Lawson. Here come the Rebels. Can they get one back here? Ryan Perkins to the goal square, and the mark's being taken. I believe that is Jacques. It is, no, sorry, Burmeister. Get one back here for the Rebels. He's only about 10 metres out, and there we go. Floyd Burmeister gets his first, and the first of the second half here for the Rebels, who bring the deficit back down to 11 points. Once again, the Rebels just get one back right when they needed to. They've been doing that all night. Whenever the Falcons have felt like they were probably a goal or two away from breaking it open, they've been able to Just muscle that ball down the other end. Might have to redo that one. We will. And if the Falcons were able to kick a little straighter, this game may not be as close right now, as we'll restart with a ball up. They should get the clearance as well, coming off the boot of Charlson. Good grab from Ibbotson. To a one-on-one. Couldn't hold on to the mark. It was a tough opportunity. Just deflected there off the kick. Taken in a tackle immediately. Did well not to take him high there. Have a ball up just inside the centre square on the outer wing here in Geelong. Good pick up from Cooper Ward. Liked what I've seen from him, but he just let the footy go. All the players are asking the question. The umpire says that he's holding the ball. It's going the way of the Falcons. It'll be Cooper Leach, who is the recipient, who spent a lot of time on the bench. He's back out there, sends him inside, over the top. First at it are the Rebels, under a lot of pressure. Slick hands, they had to be quick, and they were. And just taken from out the back of the pack from Radley. Although that kick didn't quite work out. He's kicked it straight to a pack of Geelong Falcons players. They'll link up through hand. Mukunda. He's going to draw him in. Doesn't use him in the end. River Stevens, that was well done. Inside forward 50 now are the Falcons. A little too much on the handball. Didn't quite know where his teammate was. Puts his head under the ball. Well played by the umpire to let it go. And that's going to be holding the ball. Reggie Must off to Charlson. And that kick, with not much thought, should have been taken from the Falcons, but two of the young teammates got in each other's way. But in the end, they will send it back to where it came from. Good courage shown. Unable to hold on to the mark, though. Lawson through hands to Charlson. Over the top. Sprays and prays that one down the wing. 2-on-1. Did well to bring it to ground. Milan in his debut's been lively. Couldn't have the impact he was after on that contest. Charlson tried for the one-hander. Smart little tap down. Great tackle in the end. Just feels like it's picked up a little bit here in the last few minutes or so. 15, well, nearly 16 minutes gone here in the third term. This next goal is ever so important. The Rebels under a lot of pressure. I believe he's just come on the ground here. Was Mukunda. Sends it on the boot. Didn't have the front positioning. Did Tulio. Did well in the end. He's just kept his composure. Got a little foot on the ball. It was just the required journey as Caldo takes the mark. Here's some of the supporters yelling out for ball, but the umpire will call for a stoppage here on the outer wing. Leach going at it in the ruck. Big tackle there from Morrison. $11 points the Falcons still lead by. Vishik through hands, turned over. Good attack of the footy. Great tackle there from Harvey Lewis. It's been a very physical game here. Not much giving between these two teams. It's been a low-scoring affair as Leach just gets rid of the tackler. A bit of a grubber across the grass. Made it hard for Tulio. Big chase down tackle. Is that going to be pushing the back? It is. Even he knew it. It'll be Cooper Ward. 50 metres has been called. Cannot be giving that away. Inside forward 50. That is a coach killer and a half. It's going to allow Cooper Ward. Is that a nice little game here for the Falcons to strut in and send one through for the Falcons. And that is going to hurt the Rebels. A 50-metre awarded. And they were able to take advantage after some undisciplined play from the Rebels. And Cooper Ward gets his first. Coming out of St. Joseph's is Ward. Another one of the great footy schools around this Geelong area. And just as you felt like the Rebels were one goal away from really bringing themselves back into it, a silly free kick like they've done so a few times tonight allows the Falcons to stretch that lead back out. Just over 6 minutes to play until three-quarter time. Cooper Ward with the clearance after the last goal. Just holding on there. Well done. The defence of the Rebels. Well read from Jacques. Couldn't hold on to the mark. Picked up from Ward once again. Robertson affecting the mark there. Big tackle laid from McLaughlin, who had 2 early goals in this game. Haven't seen too much of him since. Free kick's been awarded to the Falcons once again. It'll be Eden Ibbotson. David Loader, the Rebels coach, is not going to be happy with some of these free kicks that the Rebels have given away here in this third quarter. Those are about 80 from home from the Falcons' goals. So we're about to tick over to the 20-minute mark here. There's a blood rule. It's going to be Cooper Ward coming off. As it looks like he's just got a little bit of blood maybe pouring out of the nose. Hard to get a look at, but it'll be Cooper Patton to come onto the field for him. As we're nearly ready to restart play here on Community TV. Round 2 of the Coates Talent League. Of course, the Falcons winning last week by 3 points. Well, the Rebels may fall to 0-2 with a loss here this evening. Good kick across the face. Taking the mark is Hanegraaff. Had the option inside. Archie Taylor read the ball well. Kicks it into a bit of space. Well done there from Charlson to get the spoil. 4 minutes to play now. Or can either team muster up with not too long to go before the final break? You'd think a goal to the Falcons could just about do it. And this could be their opportunity. That was excellent work there from the forward in Will McLaughlin. As I mentioned before, he had 2 early goals. Dropped off a little bit, but his third quarter's been strong. And this would make it a nice day out in the office for McLaughlin. He's had a couple misses as well. He will strut in. Considering the low-scoring affair, if he's able to put this one through, it could just about do it. It's a nice-looking kick. He's got his third, and the Falcons, just before half-time, get themselves another one. And a well-deserved goal. Being fantastic in this third term and starting to see a little bit more reward on the scoreboard as McLaughlin gets his third. Now the Rebels have got a bit of work to do. 23 points they're down by. After that lovely kick there. Looked good straight away off the boot. It's a funny old bounce there. Straight out of the ruck. And the Falcons will go forward once again, trying to chase it down before it hits the boundary line. Did well to keep it in, did Mukunda. Somehow got the handball away. As he was falling to ground, just came off the boot there of Charlson. Deflected. And the Falcons, it could have been a dangerous tackle, maybe even holding the ball, either, but the umpire says play on, and we'll have a boundary throw in. 70 from the Falcons goal. Just under 2 minutes to play now till the final break here on Community TV. Hoisted back in. Lawson just got a possession away. Oh, big hit there. River Stevens with a big bump. Somehow ripped away that tackle. Did well. Downfield has been called here in favour of the Rebels. Is there time left before the siren to get one back and come into the last quarter with a little bit of confidence? Well, that's not going to help. Turned it over straight away, have the Rebels, and now the Falcons have got time, space, and players streaming past them. Here's the vice-captain, Inovicic. Kick wasn't his greatest. Big tackle laid there. It's Cooper Patton being brought to ground. As we just saw, the Rebels' disposal efficiency has really been letting them down throughout the evening as the Falcons go inside once again. Both players holding on to each other. He's going to snap around on the right foot. It looks all right. Oh, just missed that one, did Hugo Mukunda. That would have been an all-time goal if he could bring that one back. Unfortunately for him and the Falcons, he was unable to, as there is the three-quarter time siren. The Falcons 7-8-56 to the Rebels 4-2-26. We'll have a short break on Community TV before we take you right through for our final quarter here for the Coates Talent League. 1 quarter to go here for the Thursday night doubleheader at GMHBA Stadium for the 2024 Coates Talent League competition here on Community TV. 1 quarter to play between the Geelong Falcons and the GWV Rebels. And the Falcons, after a strong third term, look to run away with this one as they lead 7-8-50 to the Rebels 4-2-26. The goal scorers for the Falcons, 3 to McLaughlin, 2 to Stevens, 1 to Tullio and 1 to Ward. And for the Rebels, all singles to Mast, Wiedemann, Charlson and Burmeister. Austin Kruger's my name. Thank you for being with me throughout today's proceedings. It's been a big day of Coates League football where the girls have their first run on GMHBA Stadium in a historic night for the Geelong Falcons as they won that one by 26 points to start off their season. But right now it's round 2 of the Boys Coates Talent League and the Falcons lead by 4 goals straight. 24 points is the margin. 25 minutes of football to play here under the beautiful lights at GMHBA. The Falcons, for the most part, have looked like the better side throughout the day. Just a little bit of inaccuracy maybe holding them back, as they'll be going to the left of your dial towards the Joel Selwood stand. The Rebels to the right after the players stand here down at Geelong under lights. As we are underway, 1 quarter to go here on Community TV, and the Rebels will get first look at it coming off the boot here of Hannaford. Looking for an option. Hall just falling over the top of him. Umpire lets him play. Ball slips out. First hands at it. Just couldn't get a clean look at it. Deflected and taken out of midair there from Jacko. Backs it up by trying to chase down his own footy. But we'll have a boundary throw in. Oh no, it's been called out of bounds on the full, sorry. We certainly convinced the boundary umpires. They're just going to have a little bit of a chat here. And it will be a boundary throw in. As it is thrown back in here on the outer wing. As the Falcons look to move towards 2-0 to start off 2024. Or the Rebels could fall to 0-2 with a loss here. Tap down in the ruck. No one can get a real clean look at it. So the umpire's gearing up. He says that's holding the ball. This will be a Vishik. It's had a pretty solid game for the Falcons. Nothing too lights out. It was a low booming ball that was well picked up off the grass, and inside forward 50 the Falcons go. Can they get the pick up? The snapping shot towards goal. He finally gets one, does Mukunda. He's had a couple of opportunities. He made no mistake that time as he slots his first of the night. Did very well. There was seemingly a lot of Rebels defenders around, but he just wanted the footy more. Mukunda, after a lively performance throughout the night, gets one onto the scoreboard. And that pushes the lead out to 30 points. Considering the Rebels have only kicked 4 goals for the game, it might be too tall an order for them to come back in this one, as we are back in the middle. As the Rebels trying to get one back here. Charlson, he'll get the football back. That's a very high ball. It's a dangerous one as well. There's a lot of players sit under it. That's going to be a free kick going the way of Joe Pike of the Falcons. They're always the worst as a football when you're just waiting and waiting for that ball as it comes down. You don't know what angle it's coming from, but Pike showed some good composure, although he's turned that one over, and the Rebels will go inside. Can they get an option? It was just met in the middle of both of them as 2 Falcons players crash into each other, but it's worked out in the end, coming off the boot there. And they've moved this one to the outer wing nicely. Kershaw. Fisted away there from McGlade. Amble over the top. And once again, they've turned it over. Intercept mark taken from Perkins. Out of Bannockburn. Great mark on the lead there from McInnes. Part of the Vic Country Summer Hub, although he's kicked that one right onto the man on the mark. And Mitchell Lloyd. We'll have a boundary throw in slightly in favour of the Falcons territory on the outer wing here. Bradley against Pike in the ruck. Pike wins it out the back. Not to the advantage of his teammate. Sweeping handball from Hannaford. Needed to be a bit better. Still hunting it down here is Charlson. Just sat on top of the ball. Hacks that one forward to a one-on-one. He had one hand pinned. Done well in the end. Did McDonald. Couldn't get it past the Falcons defenders, and they should be able to get this one out. Nearly ran into a bit of trouble. Kept a level head. Off to the target there in Mukunda. He's done very well to bring it to ground. Just taken without the football there. No, umpire says holding the ball advantage. Taken here. And the Falcons defenders once again are able to get it out of there. It's Tullio. Just a little bit too quick for his teammate. Just missed the footy there. Charlson now. Oh, great grab there from the debutant in Fraser Milan. He's been one of the shining lights for the Rebels. Kicks it to a 2-on-1. Now it's a foot race towards the boundary line. Right forward pocket here for the Rebels. How will it bounce in favour of the Rebels? He'll launch that one from 50. Does it have the legs? It doesn't. It's just been fisted back into play. In the end, they'll be happy to rush that one through for a minor score. It was Ollie Hannaford who kicked that one for the Rebels. And this is too easy now for the Falcons. They're able to take a mark uncontested and just run nearly into the centre circle. Mukunda couldn't hold on to the mark. Robinson was well stripped in the end there from Perkins. And then the captain, Jacques, with a nice ball, one-on-one. Can he hold on to it? He's going to run into an open goal, and the Falcons with a bit of icing on top of the cake now, as that goal was a bit too easy for them. And Will McLaughlin gets his fourth. And a well-deserved goal there. He's been excellent throughout today. A few misses, but 4 goals is nothing to scoff at. As the Falcons are doing what we expected them to do, maybe a little early in the game, just really break this game open. The Rebels defenders have been under siege this evening. There's going to be a few tired legs out there, as we saw with that last play, but the Falcons just able to pretty much run freely into the middle of the ground. Handballs that one into a bit of space, just trying to pick it up. The players are wrestling for the footy. And we'll have a ball up just outside the centre square. 70 from home for the Rebels. Had a couple goes at it. Ibbotson with the clearing kick. Slipped through the hands of Janetsky. Nice kick to find Sinclair Burmeister, whose brother's also playing today. Of course, Floyd, who got a goal earlier in the day. A couple hands at it, but the umpires paid the mark in the end. It was a good grab from Jacques. He had 25 touches last week, along with 6 rebound 50s and 5 marks. He's going to be putting up similar sort of numbers, although that's a dangerous ball. Just kept his feet well there. But the boundary line has beaten them all. Still looking to take the game on, though, are the Falcons, which is great to see. Right in front of the fans, supporters here at GMHBA been treated to a wonderful day of football here on Good Friday Eve as the Rebels trying to get this one inside forward 50. Just used it a little bit too much as Archie Taylor been pinned for holding the ball. The target there was Avishik. Brought it to ground, even though it was a 2-on-1, and the Falcons right in the centre circle go inside once again. He had a big running jump at it, maybe just mistimed the jump a little, but he's tapped that one on forward to his teammate here in Jack Henderson, who a little dribbler towards goal. It's not going to have the journey. And rushed through for a minor score. That was Will Rantel providing the last-ditch effort there. Brought to ground by Lloyd. Gave the handball to Janetsky. It's had an okay second half. That's a beautiful ball into the pocket with Jacques, who's probably going to be downfield anyway. And here is Hugo Makunda, who's moved it off. Found a target inside forward 50 in Jack Henderson. And once again, the Rebels defenders just caught lacking there. A little too easy, a little lackluster. Henderson, who's had some good moments, hasn't been able to capitalise with a goal as of yet. Would love to slot one here for the Falcons to well and truly put this game away. Squeezes it home. And the Falcons will start off 2024 2-0 as they've finally started to get their forward line flowing here in the second half. As Jack Henderson just got that one in before it hit the post. It was very close, but he gets his first major. Just over 10 minutes played now in the final term. Falcons just looking at add more damage to this scoreboard. Good vision to find Brady Hall. Kick coming in from Tulio. In towards the centre circle. It's Cooper Ward out of St. Joseph's. Send them inside. Had two hands at it. Good pressure applied from the back. It was Mitchell Lloyd coming in with the spoil. The kick to the outer wing. Fantastic positioning. Outbodied him. I believe that was Huntergraph. Just wanted the footy a bit more. Sends that one to half forward. Joe Pike had a big jump at it. Was unable to hold on to anything. Taken to ground was River Stevens. And we'll have the ball up just outside the 50-metre line. Stevens in a foot race with Hannaford. Falcons win it out. Just got the handball away. Ward. Kick. Did a little bit of everything in the air. Was picked up in the end, but deflected from Morrison. Just lost his footing there, turned it over, and then Cooper Ward comes in, gives the handball away, little check side in towards the pocket, just came in for the spoil, hacks it out of there, but it'll be coming straight back. Brady Hall, the co-captain, taking the mark, had a very good first half. Haven't seen too much of him in the second half, but that's mainly due to the Falcons having the ball down their forward line for most of it and going back. Looks like he's taken the mark there. The umpire has paid it in the end. Took him a while to blow his whistle. But Jack O taking the mark on the last line. As the Rebels once again just picking out Hall there. He's probably unlucky not to be paid for a free kick. But that's okay because the umpire's given it to him on the next one. Cooper Leach, that's the second holding the ball free kick he's been awarded in this game. You normally don't see the tall timber rucks getting down and dirty with that stuff, so good to see Leach Getting amongst it. Tulio has been good in this game. Finds Hall. He can take his time and have a shot. He's still looking for an option, is Hall. Brady Hall. 190 centimetres coming out of Colac. Seen some great footy and cricket players come out of that town over the years. As Brady Hall could be another one of those here for the Falcons. It'll be a 45-metre kick. Slight angle here for the co-captain as the kick's on its way. Misses to the right for a minor score. Here come the Rebels. Taking the mark is Lawson. He's given away a few silly free kicks, Lawson, but apart from that, he's been pretty solid for the Rebels as the umpires paid the mark to the Rebels. Both players seemingly getting a hand on it into the goal square. Didn't have the front positioning. Did the Rebels forward? Off by hands on the deck. Have to go a long way back. And yeah, he wasn't under any immediate pressure there, so that's going to be deliberate. Good call from the umpire. It was Cooper Leach giving away that free kick. There wasn't really anyone within 5 metres applying pressure. I was surprised to see the Rebels players not really ask the question of the umpire either, as he'll snap around and snap a bit of a consolidation goal here for the Rebels. It'll be a bit too little too late as Taylor Byrne out of Koroit gets the goal. Just under 10 minutes to play now for Thursday night footy here on Community TV. $36 points the margin, 6 goals straight. The Falcons lead by. I'm not sure stranger things have happened as Ibbotson manages to get past a bit of trouble and give the handball off to Ward. Will send them back inside. Just falls out the back here. Robinson, who was good early, just coughs that one up. The snapping shot to goal. That's number 5 for McLaughlin. Oh no, he's missed it. Apologies there. Looked good off the boot. So McLaughlin, he's had 4 goals, a few misses as well. He could have had a bag and a half, but just the 4 as it stands right now. Nice contested grab taken. Strong hands, moves it inboard. He'll go across the face. It's not the greatest kick. Tulio couldn't hold on to the mark, but he gets his own footy on the deck. Handball a little bit too much on it for the teammate in Mukunda. Great vision, good composure shown to find a target, and Jacques will take him inside. It was a good lead. He was able to bring it to ground. Was Stevens, turns around onto the left. Is this one going to sneak home? It certainly is. What a finish in front of goals. That's Stevens' 3rd goal. And he's a lively forward. Is River Stevens, coming out of Newtown and Chilwell. The son of North Melbourne legend Anthony Stevens. There's a bit of footy in the blood for the young man, who's kicked 3 goals, but hasn't just been his goal kicking that's impressed me. It's really his presence around the ground, his ability to pick the ball up cleanly off the grass. He hasn't just had his moments in the forward line. He's been around the ground, and he looks to be an impressive player here for the Geelong Falcons. As we'll go back in the middle, 18 minutes down now. Holding free kick, advantage played. Couldn't hold on to the mark, and maybe just a few tired players Couldn't quite get any contact with the kick. It stays in. Stevens has been a late call for a boundary throw-in. Just as Will McLaughlin got his hands on the footy as well. So we'll throw this one back in just outside the Falcons forward line. Big tap from out the back from Burmeister. Ball's on the grass now. It's just ping-ponging around, but in the end, lands in the hands of Ibbotson. The great kick into the pocket, and the mark's being taken from Will McLaughlin, who can line up for his 5th goal. He's after a bag, is McLaughlin. He's got 4. He's missed a few. And this one, for more celebrations of this Falcons side, as McLaughlin is at a great game. He gets his 5th, finally. An excellent outing from the young forward, who's shown his presence and his capabilities as a good forward prospect for years to come. And the Falcons have now got 5 goals in this quarter, which is the most they've been able to produce in a quarter throughout the game. So they've finished this game strongly, which is what you always want to see as a fan, a supporter, a coach, is being able to play the full 4 quarters and going right till the full siren. And it seems as though the Rebels may have just dropped off their intensity a touch, while the Falcons have kept their foot right on the throats here. As Milan just got the handball away. Maybe a bit of a throw there. Taylor wrapped up. Falls out. Edges closer towards the boundary line. Eventually, they do see it over for a throw-in. In front of the Reg Hickey stand here in Geelong. Been an impressive display from the Falcons here in this last term. They've been threatening to do this all game, and they finally broke it open with 5 fourth quarter goals. Of course, McLaughlin with the last one, as Pike just yanks that one out of the ruck. The Rebels defenders just running around at the moment, looking for an option. Has to go across the face and works out in the end. Too much on the kick there. As Ivishik moves them back inside. Well done in the end from Caldo. Sends it right in front of the Rebels bench. In the end, taking an easy mark here is Skinner. A nice quick kick in to find Jacques, who ran himself into a bit of trouble. But it works out okay. Beautifully weighted ball to find the target. And Ibbotson. No, sorry. Ivishik, who goes over the top there to Lockie Jacques, who can line up. Take a few seconds off the clock here for the Falcons. And get a well-deserved goal for the co-captain coming out of St. Mary's. He's been one of their better players tonight. Although, that being said, it's been a well-rounded team performance from the Falcons. Everyone's had an input. As Jacques comes in, about a 30-metre kick. Is the kick coming back enough? It won't be. And really, they could have won this game by a whole lot more than they will. It is still 50 points, but their inaccuracy, 12 goals, 11. They've left a few on the board, have the Falcons. As they're just doing what they want at this point, it seems like. And that's going to be a downfield free kick. There's no point getting into the push and shove at this point of the game when you're down 50 points. Coach is not going to be happy with these efforts. As tension's really starting to bubble over here between the two teams. But while all that is happening, there will be a shot on goal here for Cooper Leach for a well-deserved goal. He went off in the second term after a heavy hit. But he's going to have the last laugh, and so will the Falcons, as they stretch that lead to 56 points, and Cooper Leach gets his first. After a downfield free kick was paid to the Falcons, and the Rebels have given away quite a few of those tonight. They've been very undisciplined. I can understand wanting to attack the football and be physical, but there's a certain point where it's just going to be costly to the team and their efforts towards victory. Just as the Rebels were coming back into the game in the early stages of the second half, they gave away a 50-metre penalty that resulted in a Falcons goal, and just a few too many of those moments for the Rebels, as Lindsay did well to create a little deflection on the pass there, as it just goes over the top. And there is the full-time siren. The Geelong Falcons, in a dominant display, pick up the victory over the Rebels. 13-11-89 to the GWV Rebels, 5-3-33. A fantastic last quarter effort where they booted 6 goals in the final term. As we do have a look at the goal scorers, McLaughlin with 5, Stevens with 3, Tulio, Ward, Mukunda, Henderson and Leach with singles, and for the Rebels, all singles to Wiedemann, Mast, Charleston, Burmeister and Byrne. My name is Austin Kruger. Thank you for joining us for a big doubleheader of Coates Talent League action here on Community TV. It was the Geelong Falcons with the clean sweep as the girls beat the Rebels, and then the boys dispatch the Rebels as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week for more Coates Talent League action. Stay safe and enjoy the Easter holidays.